Yes, that was really fun to do. Yes, it took 30 minutes of my goddamn time. But anyway, today I'm talking on the pure staple of British filmography, the unofficial but now officially named Cornetto Trilogy. Named so because of the frequent ice creams, the Cornettos, shown throughout each of the films.
Get us back to the station, now!
Now, I'm not going to pretend like I know this information off the top of my dome, alright? So, I'm just reading this shit out. Shaun of the Dead, first of the trilogy, came out in 2004. It was the strawberry-flavoured Cornetto. That sentence has taken me so long to actually say, by the way. Hot Fuzz, 2007. The Classico flavour. World's End came out in 2013, so quite a big jump in time. And it is the mint flavour, so different flavours. And a little cool detail that I didn't actually know about this trilogy is apparently each of those flavours, given the colour coordination that's on those flavours, has its own metaphor and bigger significance to the actual movie that it's in. For example, in Shaun of the Dead, strawberry, blood, gore, zombies, death. Hot Fuzz, Classico, blue, police, obvious police colours, so yeah. And then World's End, mint green, so aliens and shit. So yeah, I just thought that was a little bit cool, but if you didn't, your nan eats Easter eggs the wrong way around. Moving on, now that I've got the insults and the context out of the way, this is what I'm doing. 2 seconds, I realised I can change the titles of these. Oh my god! I've just realised the power that I now hold in this situation. I could go really offensive on the things I put here. Maybe not to the level of schoolboys rating their female classmates, because if anyone else saw the articles and shit on that, Jesus Christ. I think I've thought of 3 moderately... I think I've completed my 3 tiers. Don't worry, I'm just as offended as you. I'm keeping these, by the way. These are the official, completely serious tiers that I am keeping for this. This is pure relevance, and it has historical accuracy in it, so I have to. Anyway, getting on to the actual meat and potatoes of the video. Personally, for me, I know, but I've always thought this. Hot Fuzz is the one that I have watched the least. I may have only watched it once or twice, where the other 2 I have watched countless times. Hot Fuzz, I don't know. There's just something about it, the way it's shot, which doesn't appeal to me the same as the others. And the story itself, I personally also feel, isn't that fruitful. It's my favourite word, fruitful. I ain't fruity. It's just a very nice word to describe meatiness and just raw, natural plumpness, voluptuous apples and shit. It's a nice word to describe that. And anyway, Hot Fuzz I don't think has that much in it. Like, the most emotional shit in it is Nick Frost and his dad, who ends up getting blown up anyway. And Hot Fuzz very much leans into the comedic aspect of these characters and where it goes. Like, you don't have a granny with a fucking shotgun and machine guns and expect me to find any level of seriousness in this goddamn film, and it makes it incredible. Not to mention, you have Walder Frey just speaking the most intense Yorkshire that has ever been spoken. Bro's doing those voodoo Yorkshire curses on me and shit, to the point that where even it's hard for me to decipher that shit, and I'm fucking Yorkshire. But apart from that, I actually think, based on pure comedy factor, it's my second favourite in the trilogy. But as a movie as a whole, it's actually my least favourite. It's in the Rainbow Kelly tier. Fucking Rainbow Kelly. Next up, in the dog from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Everyone knows what I'm talking about if you've watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You know the exact dog. Big old quotations on fucking dog, alright? Because everyone knows what I fucking mean by that. If you don't, just watch like the episode, that one episode. I don't know what episode it is, but Reddit will tell you, and you're welcome for being traumatized for the rest of your life. Anyway, something I've just realised, if I reveal the next one, you fucking know the first one, so this is dumb. But I'm doing it anyway. Shaun of the Dead. I know, and this is where the fight happens truly for me, because Shaun of the Dead and World's End, I'm just going to already move World's End because I'm not putting shit up there just for grand effectos. Shaun of the Dead is in the dog from Atlantis tier because, I don't know, I just personally prefer World's End, but let me just try and focus on Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is wonderful. It's actually the first of these films that I ever watched, so it has that nostalgia factor for me out of these three films. And just everything about it is basically perfect. That goddamn one shot where he's walking through and he does the exact same during the apocalypse and you can't tell the difference. Wonderful, wonderful. Edgar Wright's just masterpiece on that shit. All the characters, I think the cuts are the best out of these trilogies as well. Like Edgar Wright's classical just zoom-ins and shit, I think they were the best and best utilised in this film specifically. And overall, just the dumb Britishness of this film is what's truly great about it. Like the fact that it's literally just two bums living in a house with the fucking guy from Spy who ends up turning as well and he's naked the entire time. And it's just incredible. I love the amount of foreshadowing. I love just the zombies. And like the stories of how the zombies that surrounded the Winchester at the end were all paid, I think, like £1 or 50 pence each just to be zombies for the day, which I think is a wonderful acting story. Or extras story, should I say. But yeah, something I wanted to mention about these movies is the production value of each of them, but I'm going to assume it's Shaun of the Dead last, it's then Hot Fuzz, and then World's End, given World's End's use of CGI and a lot of other things. But I really like the simplicity in the story of Shaun of the Dead, where it's very simple and they literally lay out the plan of what they're going to do. It goes to shit, and there's a lot more emotion in this, which is another thing which really gets me, where like the acting of it is far better because there's more to the characters, kind of like when Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, you see their bondness, you see them just their bond together, even to the point where he ends up playing with Nick's dead corpse in the garage. So yeah, I don't even know if it's a dog. Is it a dog? I don't know, I just know it's his daughter. Anyway, the Pope. Oh god, I have to be topical, I have to be trending, I have to do good in this YouTube game. So yeah, the Pope, God tier, best tier, the best. The World's End. Now I actually think this is the least known about of this trilogy. Like, whenever you hear about it, it's usually Shaun of the Dead at the top, and then people talk about Hot Fuzz, but I never actually really heard a lot of people talk about the World's End. So I was surprised when I actually watched it and realised it was one of the Cornetto Trilogy, and I was like, holy shit, this is a revelation. And what a revelation it was for me personally, because this is my favourite of the three. Now I'll give my reasons for this. And the main one, truly, is the characters. I think the characters for this were really, really thought out, and the deepness to the characters and the actual undertones and stuff, well, not even the undertones, the exposed undertones as well, like the problems he has with drugs and the fact that he's still living this kind of lie to himself that he's still the same sort of age, and he never got to have anything better than that one night where they went out on that fucking bender. So he tries getting them all back, and yeah, they've all moved on and have gotten better, whereas it's stuck in the same place. And I just thought that was a really cool idea to go, especially in the comedy factor. And because of the characterization of each of their personalities and the in-depthness that they've kind of gone through for each of them, I could relate far more to the comedy of it. Like that final scene where Nick and Simon have gone into that final bar and they're fighting over Simon trying to get that last pint to complete the World's End in the World's End pub, and then they end up talking to God, but they're completely pissed up, and they just literally tell him to fuck off. Well, God, robot God, and they tell him just to fuck off and piss off from Earth. I love that scene. It's my favorite scene from any of them, maybe topped by Nick Frost fighting all those robots in that bar with the stools in his hand, saying, "I fucking hate this town," and then just clobbering all these robots. I thought that was wonderful and great. And yeah, the practical effects of this film and the CGI used, I thought was just great. Like, you barely know what's going on. You just know it's mental. There's the fucking, what was it, the Oreo sisters or whatever the fuck, the Krispy Kreme sisters, the fucking gingers and the blonde, and Nick Frost just puts his hand through and grabs his ring out. Yeah, just all that shit is just fucking funny and crazy, and it's why it's my favourite of this trilogy. So, that is my reasoning for why these films are in this order of my incredible tier list. I beckon you to go try this out yourself, and also just let me know in the comments which one's your favourite, why is it your favourite, and just what's your order. What is your order using my incredible tier list? What is your order of these films? You're most likely going to be British. If you're not, I'm probably even more interested, because I have no ideas what Americans think about these goddamn films, because it's very, very British humour. And so yeah, I don't know how that goes down, but anyway, just let me know what you think, guys. Think with an F. So yeah, just let me know, and like and subscribe if you did like this. And yeah, thank you for watching, and boo, beers, bye, and